Hello Ishan, welcome to Jamshedpur.
Thank you.
So, how does it feel to be back here at the former club?
It's nice. It's always nice to be back in a place that you've played and competed in. So yeah, it's nice to be back and looking forward to tomorrow.
So, my first question I'll begin with is that you have the rare privilege of playing at Spain with many and less Indian players get this opportunity. Signing for a La Liga club like City, Las Vegas, and now the question which a lot of people ask that who after Chetri in the national team? Probably you have been playing at the clubs like FC Goa, Jamshedpur FC, and Kerala Blasters, playing under 4 different coaches. So this question always comes that can Ishan Pandita take the fill the boots of Sunil Chetri after his retirement? And the question always remains that he's not getting much time on the pitch. That he's always been told as a super sub. So do you think, as per your observations and as per your experience playing in India so far, do you think that after Chetri, if given much opportunity, you could be the one leading the goal scoring part for Indian national team?
I will always say yes. I mean, there will be a big spot that will be open that needs to be filled after he's done playing. So it's anybody's opportunity to take it, and I will do my best, and I will hopefully I can take that place as well.
Can I ask in Hindi?
Okay.
लास्ट गेम आप लोगों का JFC के साथ जो मैच था वो JFC 2-3 से जीत गया था और आप लोग का 18 गेम हो चुका है और आप लोग जो पोजीशन है टेबल पॉइंट में आपका पोजीशन जो है 5th है, तो ये मैच कितना क्रूशियल होने वाला है और इसके लिए क्या स्ट्रेटजी है? सुपर कप से
Every game is crucial right now at this stage. Both teams have a lot to play for. We're also fighting to make the playoffs. So tomorrow is a big game for us, and we'll be looking to get 3 points.
Hello coach. So,
Hello.
Hope you have enjoyed your break, much needed break after a long time playing football.
Well, the break, I stayed in Kochi. We were working with some injured players and the players who stayed. So yeah, it was active break, I'd say.
We saw your pics in the bicycle in the Kerala villages.
yeah, that was kind of recovery period.
So I'll begin straight away with the most important question, which I think people from Kerala have been asking you to ask this question. There has been a kind of uncertainty going around the future of players like Dimitrios Diamantopoulos and Fedor, and including you as well. A lot of rumors going on with whether Ashan will remain in Kerala after the season, because we have been experiencing your football and we have loved the intensity we have been playing so far for the last 3 years. And Kerala probably have been knocking the doors of the finals and probably the first trophy for the decade. But the rumors and also uncertainty of your future and players like Dimi has always been there. So could you please share some insights on whether the future of players like Diamantopoulos and you, how do you see this after the season?
Well, rumors will always be rumors. The things sometimes that you cannot control going online, but we sometimes do not know from where does it come from. There were rumors like when I saw like ex-goalkeeper of Real Madrid coming to Kerala Blasters or something. We were like, yeah, okay, well, but anyway. There's nothing true there. There are many fake things, fake rumors going out. Of course, when it comes to which concerns me, we have a contract. So I like being in Kerala Blasters. It's my honor. I'm very proud to be part of the great club. So there's nothing certain about that, like about those fake rumors or whatever it was going out. Then about Dimi. He's a great player, proving 2nd year in a row that he can be the top scorer of the league. Of course, if there are any interest, especially that many clubs in this league are looking around the league, saying if anybody performs well. So they have very weak, let's say, scouting going around overseas, finding players. And then it happened also in the previous season. If I remember after first season with Jorge Pereira, with Alvaro, so it happens that always some of our players, when they come and perform in Kerala Blasters, they go further on. Then when it comes to financial aspect, of course, when you want to keep those players, but at the end, if you cannot compete with some of the offers, that's the unwritten law of the transfer market. You know, so there are clubs here in our league who are always saying, you know, get all the offers you have, then come to us, we'll give you more. So this is how it works in football, sometimes. So of course, as a club, you want to keep your best players. There are some limits, there are some levels. We would like to keep our group together. Especially, I think that many of them, they fit together to create good things. So we'll try later our best. You know, there is still a couple of games to be played till the end. Of course, Demi is a great professional. You know, so that's kind of football. We'll do our best to keep it.
So my second question would be that, you know, we were having a discussion yesterday only that if the second most popular person in Kerala is after the chief minister is Mr. Ivan Vukovac. In such a way that if Ivan Vukovac contests an election against the chief minister, he can even defeat the chief minister. That is the popularity Ivan Vukovac has in the Kerala people. For 3 years. That is the popularity of created. So seeing this popularity, seeing the people, the love people and affection people show to you, people popularly call you Ashan over there. So do you see it as a burden, as an over expectation the fans have? Or do you see it as an opportunity to, you know, to repay the trust, loyalty of the passionate fans of Kerala? How do you see this?
Well, look, there are many aspects. It was, if I'm not wrong, that was the first time that one coach stayed on a longer term, longer than 1 season in Kerala, looking at the past. And then with the owners and with the project and the vision that we created, it will be 3 years. We wanted to create those things on a longer term, which means trying to build up the club that every year we participate and we are among the best, you know, being in the playoffs, fighting for the prizes and everything. Of course, this year was kind of weird, very difficult with many changes, many issues, you know, injuries. Then we were cut with the Asian Cup with some breaks and all these things that you have to improvise, that you have to go with all those things. Then when, like I say, on a longer term, when you are being part of such a great project, and then when you are being part of one great community, giving your best, adapting to everything what is present there, of course, the fans, you can never fake fans. You know, supporters, fans, emotions, these things you cannot fake. And then the fans, again, comparing to previous period, of course, you appreciate the way the team playing, the team is performing, the team is fighting, the players who are coming, being committed to the club, giving everything for the jersey, for the logo, not only the coaching staff, but the players as well. And these kind of things, you know, you find appreciation for that every day you want to give your best. Because Kerala Blasters, to be honest, in Kerala is kind of state identity. It became kind of, you know, something that people love. And then when you give all your heart, of course, you get the appreciation, not faking those things and everything. And that's why maybe we created that kind of emotion that every time we give all of our heart, everything the best. And that's why I'm saying, when you feel that emotion, when you feel that energy, support, you want to give everything, you want to be part of that club, you want to be part of that community. And that's why maybe it created, you know, the relationship that we have now. And again, I'm grateful for that, you know. I'm grateful for that as a person on a personal side, on a professional side. It's great feeling. It's great feeling that you get that kind of support, and it only makes us more obliged to give even more every time we perform, home, away, whether we are in difficult moments, difficult situations, missing players, injuries, no injuries. And then speaking about the owner's vision and community kind of wanting to build up some new players, especially from that region, guys who are now performing in the young national teams. That's also about thinking about the future, because you think about your project. It's not like working from, let's say, season to season, trying to build up something, going back to zero, trying to build up something, going back to zero. Actually, that kind of appreciation, people recognize and say, we like having our team, you know, coaching staff, so we are giving our best. I'm really grateful for all that feelings and support. So till the end, we'll give our best.
Okay, so afternoon, coach.
Afternoon.
My question would be like, you have been playing and heavily affected by a lot of injuries in this season, including Luna, Sachin, and many more. You were at the top of the points table in January, and now do you feel the ISL Shield's hopes are still alive after the arrival of key players from the injury? Will we see Luna in the playing 11 tomorrow?
No, Luna will not be there. He's still not ready to play this kind of game. He started practicing, if I'm not wrong, a little bit more than 10 days ago with the medical staff. Then he started a couple of days ago with us on a certain topics of the training session. It's still risky, so now in the next period we will choose the right moment, because it will not be clever, to take huge risk throwing him the moment that he's still not ready. So we'll have to be careful, because Luna is a captain, the guy who confirmed in the last previous 2 seasons his quality, that so we have to be careful with that, because it's important. So tomorrow he will not be on the pitch.
So this is ISL's Shield Hope still live?
Yeah, but always, of course, as a club, you always want to compete, Look, we had, I think, a nice run till December, and then even with all those injuries and suspensions, and then in December, in January, we got cut. Okay, players going out for national team, additional injuries that we get in a Super Cup, many issues. For example, remember in a Super Cup, in a period of 17 days, we had 10 flights, because we couldn't have the accommodation in Odisha. So always we had to fly back and forth from Kolkata to play those games. So then on an 18 days gap, without training sessions, flying all the time, you get accumulation of injuries, players coming from Asian Cup, regaining back the shape, and then, of course, missing all those players, the season got cut on 2. That's it. Not only with us, but many teams. Was obvious that many players coming back from national team duties in January with Asian Cup, they were not performing on the top level, so you get the season cut on 2. Of course, we have now points that we can sit in, let's say, top 5 for the moment, saying, okay, we hope for our playoffs, and then try to get best out of last 4 games to compete, trying to build up because again, in the next 2 weeks, with yesterday's arrival, so 4 games, 10 flights, 2 training sessions, so it's kind of fixtures that you have to deal with it. So we'll have to probably later try to rotate one group of players, because now playing in 3 days later we're going to play at home against East Bengal, 3 days later we have to fly to Northeast, so it will be kind of, let's improvise, try to fix the best thing we can, and then later on, of course, trying to build up for the playoffs.
Good afternoon, coach.
Afternoon.
You have been here in India for almost 3 years now.
Yeah, 3rd season.
Okay, yeah. So players like Sahal, Jigson and Preetham have played under you, and Ishan too. So when they play for the ISL clubs, they play at their optimum level and they score many goals. But when they face the in the AFC Asian Cup, we failed to score a single goal, and even we got a humiliating defeat against Afghanistan. So what do you think that the reason is that the players here are scoring goals, but at the national level they are not able to set their mark?
Well, let's start like this. If you want to solve, not only speaking about football or sport, if you want to solve any problem in your life, first step to solving that problem is that you admit to yourself that you have a problem. So now, speaking about also football federation, clubs, football base of fans, supporters, many people are not conscious about the reality and the level of international football. Which means we play in ISL and we are conscious about the level that we are facing in ISL, because people can see it live, can see it on TV, we're watching ISL, on TV we're watching also another international competitions, but facing some other international clubs in Champions League, like this year we saw our best team of the league from last season, Mumbai City, they got overclassed in Champions League, which is not a shame, because that's reality, Then in the AFC as well, we got 2 of our teams, a little bit playing these games, but again, you've arrived to one level where the other teams are better, okay? So then you have to accept the reality. Then on top of that, we arrive with the national team in Asian Cup, where you get the results, I think, even with the best teams you had. But then again, it's not a shame. You have to sit down and say, okay guys, what should we do next or for the next period that we don't experience anymore these kind of off situations, because many national teams, many countries have done that in the past 20 years. Not speaking about the European side, South America, but Asia. Take Japan, South Korea 20 years ago, they had the same situation. Take Australia, Saudi Arabia, Qatar 20 years ago, it was the same. So then, reality of ISL, okay, the level of the league where we are playing is on the lower level than some other competitions. So then when we are, let's say when we, so India national team, are facing another competitions, then we face the higher level and say, oh, that's strong. So first, you have to make your competition stronger. You have to go back and say, okay, we have to start building up new generation of better players, better educated players, which can perform and play against those guys when they grow up and be on senior level. So it happened, I think 2017, when India was playing World Cup for youth under 17, where actually many players now in ISL, they've been from that generation. So if you want to compete with your national team on one serious level in qualifications for World Cup, South Asia, whatever it is, you must build up at least one or two very good young national teams, which means under 17, under 90s, so these guys will be growing up, arriving to senior level, they will be strong, good, they will be playing in ISL, lots of games in a format of whatever it is with playoffs or not, and then maybe one day when you improve those levels of these players, maybe some of them will get a chance to go and play abroad, wherever in Asia, maybe it is Emirates, Qatar, Saudi, Iran, who knows. So then when you have that group of and base of these players, when they arrive on the level of senior national team, they will be strong. If there is no vision connected between federation and the clubs, it will never happen. So that must be kind of project which must be started from federation together with the clubs, you know, and that's why sometimes we face our reality in ISL and we see the teams performing, playing against each other, competing, and you say, wow, it's nice football, good games. But when you go out and face another international level that is on a higher level, then we say, whoa. So in my head, like vision of football coach or football worker, I would always ask myself, okay, what should I do? Because I want to arrive to that level. And it's been now 19 years that I live in Belgium. And I remember Belgium building up that new project when they were 60 something on a FIFA ranking list after failed qualification for World Cup 2006, where they changed the approach, changed everything, how they have to build up and form new players, young players. And then I was facing and being part of that system, how Belgium managed to be 5-6 years first on FIFA ranking. So a couple of days ago I was watching the friendly game, England-Belgium in Wembley, you know, many young players, new generation players. So it's a kind of when you continue, because the core of football lies in youth system. So if you keep producing, you know, a product with quality, it will be like oiled machine. And every year you get better and better things, you know, and then you will have more players in the market, you will have more quality. The quality of the league will go up, the quality of the teams will go up, the quality of the national teams will go up, and then you have a full process of one oiled machine that later just continue, and then in maybe no time, then you will go and play again good games against these teams, best teams of Asia, draws, you win, you qualify, you go easy, and then maybe games like against Afghanistan or some other teams, you will win easier. For the moment, that's the reality. And so nobody has to escape from there. So I think that it's normal process saying, look guys, okay, this is something that maybe we want to avoid in the future. So what should we do all together in the football? Together, federation, clubs, sitting down and making this new project, saying vision, okay, this is how it has to be done. Then football is invented thing. You don't have to invent new things. Maybe just go around and see some examples in another international countries and saying, okay, this we can implement in our football, this not, this we, and then you create your new thing, okay? This is how it has to be done. Many countries in Europe have done that in the previous 20-25 years, many countries in South America, and I just mentioned Japan, South Korea, China, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and that's true, that's reality. So nobody has to be ashamed of that or hide behind it, no. let's do it. So this kind of project, very interesting project in football. Yeah.
So my last question would be that the national team coach, it's a follow-up question of that only, the national team coach constantly complains that it's not my responsibility to produce Indian strikers. It is the responsibility of the ISL coaches and the players to actually produce themselves. It's like, that is the reason, So players like Ishan, who are prominent strikers, young strikers, so they're not getting much game time. That is the question being asked. So do you think that the players like Ishan, players like Azhar, Ayman, the ratio is definitely 7:4 when you compare Indian players and the foreigners players. There are 7:4 is the ratio, but still players like Ishan are not getting much time on the pitch. So do you think
He's national team coach. He's right when he says that he doesn't have to produce. No, it's a job of the clubs. It's a job of the youth system of the clubs, saying we need to produce these kind of players with these profiles. So the clubs and the players, they are practicing and they are improving in the clubs, and they're being produced in the clubs. National team, that's confirmation. Okay, so the players, when they go to national teams, they confirm their quality. That's all. So the national team is like picking the best. That's the point, that the Indian market in ISL is really small. Speaking about ISL league and I league, the market is really small. Okay, every transfer window, half of the players, under contract, you cannot get them because they're under contracts. And then the small amount of players going around, it's kind of merry-goes around from club to club, and at the end you get nothing. So the national team coaches like, okay, we need the bigger core of players to select, and then many teams in ISL saying like, you know what, we don't care about the quality and forming young players. What we need and what we want to make the result. So what's the easiest way? Yeah, okay, you know what, I will buy some foreigners, especially on position. If you look previous 10 years, so mostly foreigners are on position of strikers or central defenders, something that you miss. So as a Indian football or federation, I would say, guys, in our formation of young players, we need to produce more strikers, central defenders on certain positions, because then you will get the quality, and then the clubs will say, okay, then I don't need to bring those foreigners in those positions because we have, those players. And it goes again to quality. Everybody's speaking, increasing back the level of foreigners. No, I would say let's decrease the level of foreigners. Okay, let's give more chance to domestic players, and let's say, I don't know, you can implement many rules, like having at least one player under 21 on the pitch or under 23, and you give chance to your players, and then you work. This is how it goes. Of course, in the beginning, depending on quality, but that's the only way that you can improve the youth system, football, and in the end, who benefits the most? National teams. Otherwise, if you don't allow those players to develop in the level of youth and ISL or whatever senior football, then at the end, who suffers the most? National team. So that's reality. So
I have a question of Isan. आप लोग के लास्ट 5 गेम की अगर हम बात करते हैं, तो आप लोगों ने केवल एक गेम जीता है, वो भी FC गोवा के खिलाफ। बाकी जो भी बैंगलोर FC, पंजाब FC और ATK मोहन बगान सुपर जयंट्स, चेन्नई FC, उनके खिलाफ आप लोगों ने मैच हारा। कुछ मैच ऐसे थे जिसमें आप लोग गोललेस रहे, कहाँ कमी रही और उसको कैसे इम्प्रूव कर रहे हैं, और आगे के जो फर्दर जो 4 गेम बचे हैं आप लोग के, उसमें क्या स्ट्रेटजी होती है? और आप लोग की खासकर एक क्वेश्चन और है कि आप लोग का जो फॉरेन प्लेयर है डिमिट्रियोस, उन्होंने ही सबसे ज़्यादा गोल 12 किया। इंडियन जो फॉरवर्ड प्लेयर है जस्ट लाइक यू, वो गोल करने में नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, क्या रीजन क्या है, कहाँ कमी रह रही है?
First of all, yes, we were going through a little bit of a phase since the break, but we're training well and the team is in good spirits and we are ready. I think tomorrow will be a good day for us, hopefully. And football changes very fast. We've not performed to our best in the last few games. Like you said, we only won 1 out of the last 5 maybe. But we're in good spirit right now. We're training well. The team is in good shape, and tomorrow hopefully we can do well. And the second part of the question, that's the difference between foreign players and the local players. And that's something we look at and we try to get better at and emulate on the field.
Thank you, guys. Davis. Thank you, Davis. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.